In a quiet corner of the garden, water sings. It flows softly through hollow bamboo, dripping into a stone basin below. Each drop carries with it calmness, like a heartbeat slowing, like a whisper of peace. This is the bamboo water fountain, a creation of simplicity, a symbol of Zen, and a reminder that nature's music is often the sweetest of all. Guests who visit pause to listen, enchanted by the sound. Some close their eyes, letting the rhythm of water wash away the weight of the day. Children lean close, fascinated by the way bamboo channels water like a secret passage. And when evening arrives, the fountain glows softly in lantern light, turning the garden into a sanctuary. Making one is an act of art and balance. Begin with bamboo poles cut into varying lengths. One serves as a spout, angled so water flows gently. Another forms a stand, sturdy and straight. Secure them together, guiding water into a stone basin, pond, or simple bowl. Add a small pump to keep the flow steady. Then surround the base with rocks, moss, or ferns for natural beauty. By morning, dew gathers along the bamboo's smooth surface, shimmering in the first light. By noon, the sound of flowing water mingles with birdsong, refreshing the air. And by night, the fountain becomes a soft companion, filling silence with gentle rhythm. This project is more than decor. It is meditation shaped by hand, patience, and care. A bamboo water fountain teaches us that beauty need not be loud or grand. Sometimes it is found in the simplest sound, water meeting earth, moment after moment endlessly. Against a garden wall, a wooden crate once used to carry bottles of wine now carries something else, life. Soil fills its corners, and from its surface rise herbs, flowers, and trailing vines. The rough grain of the wood contrasts with the tender green leaves, creating a rustic beauty that feels both old and new. This is the wine crate planter, an upcycled treasure that proves small spaces can bloom with creativity. Guests who see it often smile, charmed by its simplicity. Children run their fingers along the wooden edges, surprised to find basil or mint where bottles once rested. And when the evening light softens, the crate glows warmly, its flowers framed by weatherwood, like art born from utility. Making one requires little more than imagination. Find an old wine crate, sturdy and clean. Line it with fabric or plastic for durability. Add drainage holes at the bottom and fill it with soil. Plant herbs for cooking, flowers for color, or succulents for easy care. Place it on balconies, patios, or small garden corners, where space is scarce but beauty is welcome. By morning, dew clings to the wood, darkening its grain. By noon, bees hover above blooms spilling from the edges. And by evening, the crate rests quietly, a rustic accent that makes even small spaces feel abundant. This project is more than upcycling. It is storytelling. A wine crate planter carries history in its wood, yet offers new life with every seed. It reminds us that gardening is not about space alone, but about seeing potential, even in what others leave behind. In the center of a small garden, a spiral rises. Stones curve gently upward, wrapping soil into a tower where herbs grow in tiers. Thyme at the top, basil along the middle, mint spilling outward near the base. It is not just a planter, but a design shaped by logic and beauty, a vertical herb spiral that transforms little space into abundant harvest. There is wonder in its form. Guests circle around it, curious how a pattern so simple can hold so much life. Children trace their hands along the stones, following the spiral as if it were a garden maze. And when sunlight warms the leaves, fragrance fills the air, each herb offering its scent like a note in a summer melody. Making one requires both patience and play. Choose stones or bricks and arrange them in a widening spiral, stacking higher as the circle narrows inward. Fill the structure with soil, then plant herbs according to their needs. Rosemary and thyme near the top where it is driest, basil and parsley along the middle, mint or chives near the bottom where water lingers. The spiral's design ensures every plant finds its perfect place, balancing sun, shade, and moisture. By morning, dew gathers along the stone edges, glistening like jewels. By noon, bees hum between blossoms, finding nectar at every level. And by evening, the spiral glows softly under lantern light, a sculpture of both function and form. This project is more than gardening. It is design inspired by nature, a reminder that abundance does not demand space, only imagination. A vertical herb spiral teaches us that beauty can be structured, and that even in small corners, life can grow in circles without end. High among the branches, a small home sways gently in the breeze. It is not made of wood or brick, but of something once discarded, a plastic bottle. Painted in bright colors, with a round opening cut neatly into its side, it now shelters birds, offering them food, safety, and rest. This is a plastic bottle birdhouse, a project that turns waste into wonder. There is joy in its simplicity. Guests smile when they see tiny sparrows darting in and out, carrying twigs for nests. Children laugh as they scatter seeds nearby, watching the birds hop eagerly toward their new home. And in the evening, when the garden quiets, the birdhouse stands as a gentle reminder. What was once trash can now give life. Making one is fun, quick, and rewarding. Take a clean plastic bottle, cut a small entrance near the middle, and smooth the edges for safety. Paint the bottle in cheerful shades or wrap it in twine for rustic charm. Add small sticks as perches, then fill the inside with seed. Finally, hang it from a branch or a pergola where birds can find it easily. In just a few steps, an empty bottle becomes a house filled with song. By morning, the birdhouse comes alive with fluttering wings. By noon, birds perch proudly at the entrance, calling out to one another. And by evening, the bottle sways gently, glowing softly in the last light of the day. This project is more than decoration. It is kindness extended to the smallest of creatures, a way to make gardens not only beautiful but generous. A plastic bottle birdhouse teaches us that even the simplest crafts can bring joy, not only to us, but to the world around us. As the sun sinks and shadows stretch across the garden, small sparks of light appear. They glow inside jars, tiny, golden, and alive like captured fireflies. Scatter along pathways, hanging from branches or resting on tables. The mason jars transform the night into magic. These are fairy light mason jars, simple creations that turn darkness into wonder. Guests who arrive in the evening pause in awe, their faces lit by soft golden glow. Children laugh, convinced the jars hold stars plucked from the sky. And in the stillness of night, the lights shimmer gently, weaving warmth into the cool air, making them as effortless, yet their beauty feels endless. Take clean mason jars, slip battery-powered or solar fairy lights inside, and close the lids loosely. Add twine around the rims. Paint the glass with frosted spray, or press dry flowers onto the sides for charm. Place them where the garden needs light, pathways, tables, or hanging hooks. In just moments, ordinary jars become lanterns of delight. By morning, the jars rest quietly, simple glass waiting for nightfall. By noon, they stand unnoticed, blending with flowers and leaves. But by evening, they awaken, glowing softly, carrying dreams of fireflies, stars, and memories yet to be made. This project is more than lighting. It is joy crafted by hand, proof that small gestures can transform a space. Fairy light mason jars remind us that beauty doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers gently in golden sparks that guide us home through the night. On a wooden table in the backyard, a clay pot glows with heat. Charcoal smolders within, smoke rising gently as skewers of vegetables and meat sizzle on the grate above. It is not a store-bought grill, but a terracotta pot given new purpose. A simple, rustic, and budget-friendly way to cook outdoors. This is the clay pot barbecue grill, proof that delicious moments don't require fancy tools, only creativity. There is magic in its modesty. Guests gather close, surprised that a garden pot can transform into a grill. Children watch eagerly, eyes wide as food crackles and smoke. And when the first bite is shared, flavors carry not only fire but the story of resourcefulness. Making one is straightforward. Start with a clean, sturdy terracotta pot. Line the bottom with foil or a small metal bowl to hold charcoal. Place a grill grate across the top, ensuring it sits securely. Light the charcoal, wait for the embers to glow red, then lay skewers, burgers, or corn on the grate. Within minutes, the pot is not just a core, but the centerpiece of a meal. By morning, the pot sits quietly, its surface darkened with ash. By noon, it is cleaned and waiting, ready for another gathering. And by evening, as the sun fades, the clay pot once again comes alive, glowing softly, carrying laughter and flavor into the night. This project is more than a cooking hack. It is a reminder that joy often comes from the simplest inventions, that food tastes best when shared, and that even a humble pot can hold the warmth of fire, flavor, and friendship. On a bare balcony wall, life grows in pockets, not shelves or pots, but fabric meant for shoes now holds soil, herbs, and flowers. From each pocket spills green, basil, parsley, mint, tiny blossoms. What was once storage becomes a vertical garden. Proof that even the tightest spaces can bloom with imagination. There is charm in its surprise. Guests glance upward, marveling at how an ordinary shoe organizer is transformed into a living wall. Children laugh, pointing at plants growing where shoes once rested. As evening falls, the pockets glow softly with color, filling the air with fragrance and joy, making one as quick and clever. Hang a fabric shoe organizer against a wall, balcony railing, or fence. Line each pocket with a bit of plastic to hold moisture, then add soil. Plant herbs, flowers, or succulents, choosing based on light and care. Water carefully, letting each pocket feed its roots. Within weeks, the once empty organizer becomes a lush wall of green. By morning, dew clings to leaves, sparkling in the first light. By noon, bees hover around blossoms, curious about the unusual garden. And by evening, the wall feels alive, a vertical oasis where before there was only emptiness. This project is more than gardening. It is innovation with kindness, turning the overlooked into the unforgettable. A hanging shoe organizer garden teaches us that space is never truly gone. It simply waits for creativity to show what can grow, even in the smallest of places. In the quiet of the garden, water reflects the sky. It rests inside a circle once meant for roads, a tire now reborn as a pond. Around its edges, stones and flowers soften its form. Within, lilies float, fish glide, and dragonflies hover above. This is a recycled tire pond, a reminder that even the humblest beginnings can become beauty. Guests who visit pause in surprise. They lean closer, admiring the life within, marveling that what once carried wheels now carries water. Children kneel eagerly, pointing at tiny fish darting between lily pads. And when evening falls, lanterns or solar lights flicker nearby, turning the pond into a pool of quiet magic. Creating one is simple, yet rewarding. Take an old tire, clean it well, and bury it halfway into the soil. Line the inside with pond liner or thick plastic, ensuring no water escapes. Fill with fresh water, then add aquatic plants like lilies or lotus for color and oxygen. Introduce small fish if desired, and place stones around the edge to create a natural finish. In just a few steps, a discarded tire becomes a living ecosystem. By morning, the water glimmers with dew-like light. By noon, bees and butterflies visit flowers nearby, drawn by freshness. And by evening, reflections of sky shimmer softly, the pond alive with color and movement. This project is more than decoration. It is transformation, a way to give back to nature while reusing what the world discards. A recycled tire pond teaches us that water and life can bloom even in the unlikeliest of vessels, carrying stillness and wonder into every garden. In a quiet patch of the garden, branches lean together like old friends. Bound with twine, they rise into a simple frame, guiding vines upward toward the sun. Leaves twist around the wood, blossoms peek through, and soon the trellis disappears beneath a curtain of green. This is a rustic branch trellis, humble, handmade, and alive with growth. There is beauty in its imperfection. Guests smile, surprised that sticks on the forest floor could become such a structure. Children tug gently at the vines, watching tendrils curl tighter around the branches. And in the stillness of evening, the trellis stands like sculpture, holding not only plants but patience itself. Making one is an act of craft and care. Gather sturdy branches, long and straight, from pruned trees or fallen wood. Arrange them into a teepee or ladder shape, tying securely with jute twine or rope. Press the base into the soil for stability, then guide young plants, beans, peas, cucumbers, or morning glories, to climb. Within weeks, the frame transforms, hidden beneath lush greenery and blooms. By morning, dew rests on every leaf, sparkling as vines climb higher. By noon, bees hum among blossoms, grateful for the flowers that reach skyward. And by evening, shadows stretch across the trellis, its silhouette a reminder of the bond between nature and hand. This project is more than support for plants. It is a partnership between gardener and garden, between wood and vine. A rustic branch trellis teaches us that beauty often comes not from polished things, but from those left rough, tied together, and given purpose by the lives they hold. In a sunny garden bed, colors spill across the soil, not just from flowers, but from painted stones resting proudly among herbs and vegetables. Each rock bears a name: basil, mint, parsley, written in bright paint, decorated with cheerful patterns. This is a painted rock garden marker, a playful DIY project that turns gardening into art. There is joy in its simplicity. Guests bend down, smiling at the whimsical stones. Children laugh as they recognize their own artwork, proud that their painted rock now helps guide the garden. And when the sun shines, the colors glow against the soil, transforming the ordinary act of labeling into delight. Making one is a project for all ages. Collect smooth, flat rocks from your yard or local river. Wash and dry them, then use acrylic paints or paint pens to decorate. Write plant names boldly. Add playful designs: tomatoes, sunflowers, butterflies. Seal with a clear spray for durability. Then place them in garden beds or pots. Suddenly, plants are not only labeled but celebrated. By morning, dew sparkles across painted surfaces, making colors richer. By noon, bees hover between blossoms, while children check if their rocks are still shining. And by evening, the garden glows with more than plants. It holds laughter, memory, and creativity. This project is more than craft. It is connection between family, garden, and imagination. Painted rock markers remind us that gardening need not be serious. It can be joyful, personal, and filled with play. Every painted rock becomes more than a label. It becomes a story. In the shade of a tree, a bench waits. It is not carved from fine lumber, nor bought from a store, but built from crates once used for storage. Now stacked and secured, topped with cushions, they have become more than boxes. They are a seat for rest, laughter, and quiet moments. This is the wooden crate garden bench, rustic and handmade, carrying both history and comfort. There is warmth in its charm. Guests who visit are drawn to it, surprised that simple crates could create something so welcoming. Children climb atop it, treating the bench as both seat and stage. And when evening comes, pillows and blankets turn it into the coziest corner of the garden. Making one blends creativity with resourcefulness. Start with sturdy wooden crates, sanded smooth. Arrange them side by side or stacked, fastening securely with screws. Add a wooden plank across the top for stability. Then place cushions or mattress cut to size. Paint or stain the wood for weather protection, or leave it raw for rustic appeal. The result is a bench that serves not only as seating, but as storage, with space and crates for tools, pots, or blankets. By morning, dew rests on its surface, softening the wood's tone. By noon, the bench becomes the heart of the garden, a place to sit with tea and sunlight. And by evening, lanterns glow nearby, turning the bench into a gathering spot for stories and stillness. This project is more than furniture. It is transformation, giving crates a second life and gardens a new soul. A crate bench proves that comfort need not be expensive. It can be handmade, humble, and filled with heart. In the far corner of the garden stands a chair. Once broken, its seat cracked and useless. It might have been thrown away, but now it overflows with blooms. Petunias spilling like a waterfall, ivy twisting down its legs, colors bursting where emptiness once was. This is the upcycled chair planter, a testament to imagination, where trash becomes treasure. There's delight in its reinvention. Guests who visit smile at the sight, surprised that something broken could become so beautiful. Children point and laugh, amazed to see flowers sitting where someone once did. And when evening light softens, the chair glows warmly, no longer forgotten but celebrated. Making one is an act of care and creativity. Take an old wooden or metal chair, sturdy enough to stand. Remove the broken seat, replacing it with a pot or lined basket filled with soil. Plant flowers, herbs, or even trailing succulents, letting them spill outward to cover the frame. Add paint to match your garden style, or leave it weather for rustic charm. Place a chair where it can surprise. By a pathway near a fence or beneath a tree. By morning, dew glistens on petals, softening the old wood. By noon, bees hum as they gather nectar, filling the planter with life. And by evening, shadows stretch across the chair, its silhouette blending history and growth. This project is more than recycling. It is a reminder that nothing is truly useless, that even the broken can bloom again. An upcycled chair planter carries both memory and renewal, proof that creativity can turn loss into life and waste into wonder. In the middle of the garden, sunlight glints off water held in porcelain and glass. Birds flutter down, perching lightly on the rim, dipping their beaks into the cool pool. The base is not carved stone, but a tower of dishes once forgotten in cupboards. This is the bird bath made from old dishes, elegant, recycled, and alive with song. There is grace in its simplicity. Guests smile when they see birds splashing playfully, surprised that old plates and bowls could create something so charming. Children giggle as they watch feathers scatter droplets into the air. And in the quiet evening, the bath reflects the colors of the sky, shimmering softly as if it were glass art. Making one is as easy as stacking. Gather old plates, cups, and bowls of different sizes. Use a sturdy base, a large dish or planter. Then stack upward with adhesive or balancing. Place the largest dish on top as the basin, filling it with fresh water. Position the bath in a shady spot, surrounded by flowers or under a tree. The result is both functional and decorative, offering birds a safe haven while beautifying the garden. By morning, the water sparkles with dew as early birds arrive. By noon, butterflies sip from its edge while sparrows dive joyfully into the pool. And by evening, lanterns glow nearby, turning the bird bath into a centerpiece of reflection and stillness. This project is more than upcycling. It is generosity, offering water to creatures small and wild. A dish bird bath proves that beauty and kindness can be found in the simplest transformations, that even what we no longer use can become a gift for life itself. In the back corner of the garden, would pallets stand tall, not stacked with goods, but with nature's leftovers, peels, leaves, stems, soil. Slowly, quietly, they transform into something new. Compost, rich and dark, a gift from waste to earth. This is a pallet vertical compost bin, sustainable and simple, proof that nothing in nature is truly lost. There is wisdom in its cycle. Guests glance at the bin, surprised that something so plain can hold such importance. Children peek inside, fascinated by the layers of scraps turning into soil. And when the gardener lifts a handful of compost months later, it crumbles rich and alive, ready to feed roots once more. Making one requires only resourcefulness. Gather 4 wooden pallets and arrange them into a square. Fasten them together to form a frame. Leave gaps for airflow, then fill the bin with alternating layers. Green waste like vegetable scraps and grass, and brown waste like dry leaves and cardboard. Water lightly, turn occasionally, and let time and nature complete the work. The vertical design saves space, perfect for small backyards. By morning, steam sometimes rises in the bin, warmth born of transformation. By noon, insects and worms move busily, working silently. And by evening, the bin rests, filled with potential, waste becoming soil, soil becoming life again. This project is more than waste management. It is participation in nature's cycle, a way to honor what we consume by giving it back. A pallet compost bin teaches us that gardens thrive not only on seeds and water, but on patience, renewal, and respect for the earth's endless rhythm. At dusk, the garden changes. The last sunlight fades, but the path begins to glow. Tiny stones shimmering in soft blues and greens, like stars fallen onto the earth. Each step along the walkway feels enchanted, guided not by lamps but by pebbles that shine through the night. This is a glow-in-the-dark pebble pathway, magical and simple, proof that beauty can bloom even after the sun goes down. There is wonder in its light. Guests pause, delighted as the pathway glows beneath their feet. Children run ahead, laughing as if walking on stardust. And when the night deepens, the garden feels alive with mystery, a place where every corner holds quiet magic. Making one is easy yet transformative. Scatter glow-in-the-dark pebbles along the soil of a pathway, embed them into concrete, or mix them with gravel. During